It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. And it's all up next.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good one here in the AFC, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Tennessee Titans. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
Caleb Shudak has us teed up, ready to do the honors. And off we go from Nashville. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Screen play set up for Williams. Wiggles, and a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They go play action now. Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's third down. Here's Wilson. Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. That's sacked by the DN, Danico Autry. Anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Kyle Phillips deep for Tennessee. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
Every quarterback in the NFL has a little bit of his own signature style out there, but for this guy, he really plays the game in a different way. It's led to a couple double takes from us up here as we see him as something truly unique. It's not that he's just the strongest passer or the best athlete to ever play the position. He just has a certain way of seeing the action and allows him to make some special plays out there.
Off play action, Tannehill. That's complete to Traylon Burks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Tannehill now to throw. They set up the screen for Henry.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive.
And that's one of those calls where you play it safe, but you're hoping that maybe something might spring for you, because instead of forcing ball downfield on 3rd and long, maybe you can hit them with something underneath, break a tackle or two, pick up a block, and see what happens. Not here, though. Good job reading the screen, and it sets up 4th down.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I'll give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd and 9.
Now Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
A first catch for Jeudy, good for a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Dancing to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Call that a very strong gain of 24. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Javonte Williams. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. So, partner, was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Fry now to send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He might take this all the way. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back.
Holding.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 26. Throwing to start the drive. Wilson.
Room past the 35.
Shifts by him as they finally wrangle him in at the 48. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Wilson. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the 1st. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scrim.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver.
Javonte Williams
with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter.
And the Broncos lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this 1st quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
So now Fry back out following the score. He'll send this one away. Julius Chestnut now on the return. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Tannehill. And the catch made by Hopkins. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
2nd down and 6 now.
A handoff, running left, Henry. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one 28 yards on the ground. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. but more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
On first down, Tannehill. Going to the right here and finding Burks. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. They were looking to throw, holding on a big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. On second down, here's Henry. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Well, a tough throw there across his body. It's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. Wilson. And this one is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
49 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Being chased out left. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Wilson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Riley Dixon now to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. He'll start with a give to Henry. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
To throw on 2nd down is Tannehill. Going deep for Hopkins. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the 1st quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson.
Short throw caught by Dulcich. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
3rd and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson.
Screen play set up for Williams.
Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Again, Wilson. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop. But when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson.
That is caught, and he will have a Broncos 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
This is caught. And the Broncos are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Williams is into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. So what a first half that he has had running the football. That now 3 touchdown runs.
And I would anticipate that when they get down in the red zone, he's going to get more chances as this game goes on. And I think that the guys blocking for him are going to ask for him to get more chances. They like the rhythm they've developed.
Marr on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. So Fry now, after the made field goal, he'll send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Titans set and ready to go on offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. This one downfield to Burks. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Henry running right. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
67 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back to throw, Tannehill. Got a man, and it's taken in for the Titans touchdown. Derrick Henry from a yard out.
And the Titans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
Extra point up and good by Shudak.
And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Back out is Shudak here as he'll send this one away. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back.
And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On 1st down, Wilson.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Wilson, option right. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a 1st down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a 1st down with some nice running.
Throw over the middle, taken in by Dulcich. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Wilson.
Same connection. Dulcich once again.
Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
What's the deal, y'all?
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he is going to get this close to the 1st down markers. He's brought down at the Titans 30.
57 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Russ able to connect with Cortland Sutton there. And the Broncos take a 3-touchdown lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Marr now to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. Here's Fry now to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And the Broncos get there and take him down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Randy Gregory. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
He'll look to throw.
That's caught. Left side, it's Burks.
So no gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line.
The Broncos and Cortland Sutton heading back out there.
He's delivered a solid performance so far here in the 2nd quarter.
Everything has been good for him. And right now, if you're on defense, you don't want it to go to great. So you have to just change up coverages and looks on him all the time. Press coverage sometimes, back off and play some man, show some zone, double team him, make him really work for each and every catch.
He's hit the end zone once. Maybe there's more in the tank. They begin the drive with Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
That's Azeez Al-Shaair getting through for the sack that time.
Tried to create a little bit of that hocus-pocus with some magic, but the defense, not impressed at all. They don't lose contain on this very dangerous runner, and they get a big stop.
Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Fair catch made at the 29.
Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. Now, the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
83 yards on the ground now for Henry. He's got a first down.
Oftentimes, broken tackles are his specialties. Put another one on his tally there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One-on-one, not likely to get him down. You need everyone else to get there and help you. I think they were signaling for you and I to jump on the pile and try and get him down, weren't they?
You don't want me out there, I promise you. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
4 yards on the pickup.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On first down, it's Tannehill.
And that one's going to come up a little short. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10.
Here's Tannehill. He finds Hopkins complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. 3rd and 2, Tannehill.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Here's Tannehill.
That'll be complete to Okonkwo.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's get a little aggressive, baby. You ready to roll? Let's rock and roll.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Now Tannehill. This will be caught at about the 5. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 3-yard line.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. The final shot here before the break. Tannehill to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. It was former Tar Heel Javonte Williams with a solid first half. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down.
The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by his tight end, Trevon Wesco. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Now it's Tannehill.
He short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Tannehill.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, Fargo, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Henry. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Play action. It's Tannehill. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Running left, it's Henry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
And this one is right through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
So here's Shudak following the touchdown, back out to kick off. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10
at their own 21.
He'll hand this to Williams to start things out.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
In motion right, that's Hamler. They'll fake the jet sweep, but instead of give up the middle to Williams.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Now Wilson. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just lock one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again.
And the numbers for him pretty solid, really. He's run it well. He's caught it pretty well, but they're still far behind the 8 ball on the scoreboard.
Not able to use his talents, as you noted, to narrow the gap in the scoreboard. Sometimes it's a bend but don't break, right? He gets his yardage, that's cool, but it's not paying off on the scoreboard. They're not getting the points necessary. And if you're a defensive team, you'll give up that yardage for the kind of lead they have.
That's what I was going to ask you. Sometimes you say, let this guy do his thing. Let's control what we can control elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Take away the rest of the guys. Don't let them hurt you as well. But the biggest one is they contained him well enough that they've been able to increase their lead.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
Tannehill. Throw left side here into the hands of Wesco, the tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. He'll complete this one. Okonkwo. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 42. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that earns them a fresh set of downs.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
The throw right sideline here is complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. This is Phillips yet again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd down at a yard.
To throw is Tannehill. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They run wide side with Henry. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Henry again on 2nd down.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
The quick slant caught.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Gotta figure this is one they need here on 3rd and goal. Henry will take this into the end zone for a Titans touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Regans, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Now Shudak for the extra point.
And this one's back to an 8-point game. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run.
So then after the made field goal, Shudak back out to kick it away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Denver's offense now set to go. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos
At their own 24.
Here's Williams to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They go play action with Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3.
They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29.
Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Williams is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Williams again.
And Williams is in for a Denver touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Marr on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown. So now Fry back out following the score. He'll send this one away. Chestnut now to return it. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. Thus far, he's been quite the dual threat. Touchdown on the ground, another through the air. He's just so versatile, isn't he?
He is, and he's exactly what I think we're looking for in the NFL now out of the running back position. Guys who can do everything running it, but also act as receivers. And I don't just mean, you know, the stopgap guys. I don't mean safety valve. I'm talking about big-time parts of it, whether they're going to split out, whether they're going to swing out of the backfield. Sometimes they act like a true wide receiver, and he's having that type of a game in this one.
It'd be interesting to see if he can keep it going both phases. Let's see. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Tannehill now to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass trait in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. That's complete once again to Hopkins. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Tannehill. Incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Tannehill throwing again. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 of the 15. 25 yards that time.
Oh, that's a big let off there on 3rd down because you've got to account for the running back coming out of the backfield. They didn't, and they got burned, not just for a 1st down, but for big yardage as well.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. In motion left goes Burks. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And his kick is good. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Back out is Shudak here as he'll send this one away.
Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. Tremont Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Broncos. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Marr now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Titans now just about ready to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain.
And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now 2nd and 3.
Back now in Nashville. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
They'll stay on the ground with Williams.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score.
Javonte Williams
taking it in from 7 yards away.
And the Broncos take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26.
So Fry now, after the made field goal, he'll send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now it's Tannehill. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 34. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down and 3. Back to throw, Tannehill. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Slot man moves right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Alex Singleton, a former Canadian League star, in on the stop.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
2 things to watch. First, his strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Tannehill. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, You're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 9. On the option to give to Williams here.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
On 2nd down, Williams. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Let's go, baby.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now Wilson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
That is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
At the 15-yard line.
This 2nd and 4.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Javonte Williams.
A 15-yard touchdown run.
And the Broncos have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. Well, obviously, Charles, no more points were needed, but some teams just can't resist the urge to keep adding on, and they did just that here in the 4th quarter.
And we've certainly been on the call to see many teams do exactly that over the years, Brandon. Some to even more impressive degrees. In the end, it always goes back to there's still a defense out there, and it's still a game of NFL football. So if you don't like what's happening, it's up to you to get them stopped.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Here's Fry now to send this one away.
Now a hit and a loose football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll drop to throw.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Here's Tannehill now on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Hopkins. And they're able to get this one across the 35. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but They can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Tannehill.
And his throw here's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Tannehill.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air again, Tannehill. They set up the screen for Henry. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10. He got 9. 4th down. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run. It's Henry. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Tannehill. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Tannehill.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
3rd down and 10 yards to go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Caleb Shudak on now for the field goal.
From 28 yards out.
A 28-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And that will narrow this, if that's even the right word, to a 30-point deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
So here's Shudak following the touchdown, back out to kick off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Nashville.